So tonight's class, or whenever you're going to practice this video, will hopefully be a little bit shorter than an hour. We're going to do an ebb and flow class. So for those of you who come to the studio at 5:45 on Thursdays, you are familiar. So this style is kind of mixed with the yin and the yang practice, and we do a little bit of resisting between poses. We find some core work, do some restorative poses, and we're going to move. We're going to be challenged a little bit today, but just like anything with challenges, we have to choose to go with the flow instead of against it. So let's begin in a comfortable seat. Take a moment and grab either a block, a pillow, or roll up a blanket. We're actually going to find Supta Baddha Konasana on our bottoms. So I like to personally bring something underneath my hips, and I feel a little more grounded like this. I feel more supported, more comfortable, and if anything, comfort is the most important thing when it comes to my hips. So just allow yourself to explore where you need to be. Soles of the feet come together, and you can rest in the hands of palms together at the heart. You can rest in the hands on top of the knees, or you can even cup the feet. Wherever you go, just allow yourself to let go of clenching, to let go of tightening and holding on, and just to let go of resistance. So wherever you need to go, find yourself there. Welcome yourself to your practice. How do you feel? And hopefully today was a little bit lighter than the last couple days. Hopefully you're starting to adjust mentally, emotionally, and physically to just the new routine that we are creating. As humans, I said this the other day, we are creatures of habit. So when we're really spun out of our routines, we're thrown off those daily interactions that are habitual. We start to get confused. We start to well up with emotions of uncertainty, of fear, confusion, discomfort. I think it's important to be thrown off of our daily habits and routines. This allows us to explore other realms. It allows us to see what we're capable outside of the norm. And I'm sure most of you have noticed such immense shifts already. And ultimately, it can only get better from here. So we're going to dive right into our flow. This can be great for waking up. It can be great for right before bed, or really, there's no wrong time to practice. Every time is the right time. So as always, do what you can, and let's take a slow breath in through the nose. And a slow breath out. You're going to continue breathing in nice and slow, filling up the belly, drawing the breath all the way into the chest, expanding the ribs, and then filling up the throat. Literally feeling the body just expand, widen, creating space, creating possibilities. And then exhale, press the breath all the way out as we tap into that Ujjayi pranayama, using the back of your throat. And if you're audible, what do you sound, or what do you hear? How does the breath sound? Maybe it sounds hollow, oceanic. Maybe it sounds like an echo. Maybe there's not much sound to it at all, and that's quite all right. Draw another breath in. Let it go. And wherever you are with the arms, just start to bring some movement into them. Fingers, maybe even wiggling the toes. We're going to sweep the arms up overhead. And exhale then toward the heart. We're going to find a twist to the right. This can be any variation of your choice. I'm grabbing the knee with my left hand. Right fingertips grip the mat behind me. And then inhale, wave the arms up. Exhale, twisting to the opposite side. I like to use resistance with my lower body from my upper body. So grabbing a hold of the leg, draw a big breath in, staying on the exhale, and then slowly make your way back towards center. Inhale, root down through the sit bones, reach up high. And then we're going to bow over the legs. Feel free to remove a prop if you have one underneath you. And we're just going to fold. You can crawl the fingertips outward. You can come to the forearms and spread the fingers wide. But notice what happens to the toes here. What's happening to the knees? Perhaps you need to adjust. So you want to be able to release here and not feel a sense of tightness or not feel that you're really clinging on to something just so you can stay afloat. Notice some of the things, the people, the ideas, the perceptions, the thoughts that we hold on to every single day. Is it worth it? Is it benefiting you? Are you doing most of the work to just stay afloat? So recognizing what we need and what we don't. Slowly walk the hands back toward the feet. And then draw the knees together. From here, you can gently remove whatever it is out from underneath you. And we're just going to bring the feet out in front. Knees are bent, hands are stacked behind us. Windshield the legs as we drop them down to the right. So the left knee just kind of slices behind the right heel. Pausing here, noticing what is happening. This practice is such a presence of self-awareness. Inhale, lift, and go to the other side. Self-awareness within us, and then awareness around us. What are you starting to pick up on in your surroundings? Is anything deterring you from remaining present within the body? And then draw the knees back together. Let's make our way into a wide-legged child's pose. Now I know child's pose isn't always accessible, but if you have a block or a blanket, you can take it underneath your forehead. So the big toes come to touch, if possible, at the back of the mat. And then widen the knees as you just lower the head down. Spread wide through the fingers as you extend the arms all the way to the top of the mat. So we're finding some activity in our shoulders. You can even drop one armpit down, lift the opposite, and sway side to side. As always, I'm just your guide for this evening, but ultimately you are the teacher. You take these small offerings into your own hands and give yourself exactly what you need, as well as modifications. We're going to lift the chest about halfway. So we're coming into this halfway lift within our tabletop, or within our child's pose. Spread the fingers wide with the knees as they are. Inhale, shift into a modified high plank, and slowly lower. Maybe you pause halfway. If it feels good, maybe you just bring your chin down to the mat and then push the ground away, hug muscle to bone, inhale to that modified plank. And exhale, sit down, nestle into child's pose, arms stay. Inhale, maybe roll forward. Flatten out on the exhale, take it halfway or all the way down, being very mindful. Push down, inhale, squeeze, lift up. Exhale, child's pose. 3 more times, find a rhythm. Inhale, curl it up. Exhale, down with control. Big breath in, squeeze and lift. Exhale, settle down. 1 breath, 1 movement. Inhale, shift forward. Heart lowers down either halfway or all the way. Breath in lifts you up. Breath out sits you down. 1 more. Inhale. exhale. And then come up to that tabletop position. We're actually going to lower all the way down from here. You're going to keep your legs as they are. So make any adjustments as we lower down. So we're going to come into Supta Baddha Konasana on the belly. So lift the feet above the thighs and bring the soles of the feet to touch. And then come into crocodile, hands stacked, forehead meets the hand. Elbows splay out wide, as do the knees. Pausing. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. So feeling the belly press up against the mat. Feeling the weight of your pelvis, your thighs, your arms, your chest, your head, and your hands into the earth. Making that grounding connection. The hands will stay on the ground. The head will stay on the hands. On the inhale, lift the hands, lift the knees, lift the chest. So we're in this Supta Baddha, kind of a cobra variation. So lifting chest, lifting hands, squeeze the feet together, lift the legs, lower down. Notice how you feel. If you feel any pinching in the low back, maybe you don't lift up as high on the next round. But you're squeezing the feet together, engaging the thighs and lifting up. So forehead to the hands. On the inhale, squeeze, lift up, curve the spine. Now we're arching the back. And then lower down. We're going to do that again. Inhale, push down. Root down to squeeze, lift up, lower. 2 more. Breathe in. Maybe you can lift more of your thighs off the mat. Maybe more of your chest. Breathe out. Lower. Last one. Inhale. Squeeze the feet. Exhale. Release. Lower the legs down. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Take your left cheek to the mat. Slide the arms out like the letter T. And we're just going to hang out here. Make any adjustments in the body. And then go ahead and slide the right hand close to the face. And then roll on to your left side. Almost like a side plank with the legs stacked. If you can't, lower the head, or if your block is nearby, your head can lower on that. Coming into scorpion. So your left palm is completely down and the arm is a straight line on the ground. Reach the right leg up, bend the knee, and tap the toes behind the left leg. So we have a little twist in the torso. We have a little opening in the hips. You're more than welcome to take the right arm up, tap the back, roll the shoulder open. Or you can push the palm firmly into the mat, roll deeper onto the left shoulder. Take a big breath in. Breath out. The first time I ever did this yin stretch was in my yoga teacher training, and it was the most intense feeling I have ever felt within a pose. I didn't feel any real physical pain, but the discomfort was all happening mentally. And then my body started to tense up because of the thoughts, my mind was tense. So it was just creating this chain reaction. And all I could do was really breathe, just focus, listen to the sounds that were around me. And soon the muscles started to let go. I started to release, and I started to feel okay. We're going to come back onto the belly. Our right knee is going to slide out, aligned with the right hip, and then goalpost the arms. We're coming right into half frog. You're more than welcome to take the opposite cheek to the mat, right cheek down, looking to the left elbow. Or maybe you're content on the left cheek. Maybe you want to bring the chin to the mat. But try to slide the right knee out, away from the hip so your butt's not sticking way up. Soften your shoulders. Make any other adjustments that you might need. Nothing is permanent. If anything, this practice really teaches us about the impermanence of life. So the body is forever shifting, evolving, as well as the mind. So be where you are, respect that. Slide the hands under the shoulders. Bring the chin to the mat, tuck the left toes under. We're gonna lift up into a high plank. The right knee will come to the right elbow. So if you're with me, let's lift the chest first. Then lift the hips, then lift the legs, hugging tightly that right knee toward the outside of the right arm. Allow the hips to lift or to open just a little bit here. Take a full breath in as you push the ground away. Now we're gonna lower back down into half frog. Lower the left knee first as you gradually bend the elbows, and then take it all the way down. Keep the hands right where they are. Lower the chin. Breathe in through the nose, never holding the breath. Breathe out. Tuck the left toes under again. So this time, maybe you lift up a little more all at once versus step by step. So whenever you're ready, push down, lift up, straighten the arms, hug the right knee tight to the outside of that right arm. I like to flex my toes toward the wall. Take another big breath in, grip the mat with the fingers, and then slowly lower, either gradually or all together. So step by step or all together. Slide that knee away from the hip, returning to our final frog pose, half frog. Notice the sensations that you're picking up on. Notice any tightening in the muscle. Tuck the toes under, push down. Inhale, high plank, knee to elbow. Draw a big breath in. And exhale, extend the leg behind you, coming into high plank. And then making some shifts within the hands to readjust the body. Draw breath in as the crown of the head pushes forward. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, drop the knees. Lower everything down to the mat. You can rest in crocodile. Take the arms out like wings. This time the right cheek comes to the mat and the left palm slides toward the left shoulder. We're going to stack our body onto the right side. Lift the left leg, bend the knee, tap the toes behind the right leg. So your head can rest either to a block or to the mat. And maybe you feel a little more tension in the right arm here. If that's the case, walk your left fingertips out and take some of that intensity away from that right side. Slow and steady breathing in, always remaining focused to the breath. Noticing when it becomes short and choppy. Noticing when you need to take a rest back down from any pose. And then slowly crawl the left fingers out all the way, and then bring the left elbow to, or the left knee toward the left elbow for that half frog. So maybe take your opposite cheek to the mat, maybe keep the right cheek down, whatever you need. Allow the hip to fall to the mat, make sure the butt's not sticking way up in the air. Giving yourself some space to breathe as you fill in and out. Slide the hands under the shoulders. Tuck the right toes under. Lift the head first. Push down, then lift the chest, then the hips, then the knees. Come into that high plank from our half frog. So I like to lift the knee, like I said, out toward arm instead of underneath. So I want a little more in my hips right here. Take a breath in. Let's lower the right leg first, then bend the arms. Take it all the way back into that half frog. The palms, the elbows, they'll stay here. Let's do it again. Curl the right toes under. This time, maybe you lift a little more off the mat. And then find that high plank. Squeezing the knee toward the left elbow, pressing the ground away, remaining strong here. Lower down, maybe you go all the way or step by step, flatten out to fill up. This is our last round. Take a big breath in, curl the toes under. And then breath out, push up, 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 straighten the arms. Big breath in. Breath out. One more. High plank as you extend the leg, drop with the toes. Grip the mat with the fingers. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Let's fill it up with a breath in. Fill it all the way up and then exhale, breath out. One more. Downward facing dog. Pedal out through the legs. Find movement in all the right places. Draw the shoulders away from the ears and just create a really strong foundation in your dog pose. Firm up the muscles, ground the pointer fingers, the thumbs down. Maybe shake the head side to side. Maybe draw some circles. I like to close my eyes here in down dog. Perhaps you like to keep them open and take your gaze right in between the feet. And let's slowly lift high onto the toes. Bend the knees and then step to the top of the mat, however you can get there. You can bend the knees a lot or maybe just a little, all depends on the hamstrings. Grab the elbows for ragdoll. Drop all of the weight into the head, the arms. Allow the spine to lengthen, to stretch, to release. And you can shift your weight in your toes. See what it feels like to move around. How does that affect the hamstrings? How does it feel to the calves, the ankles, the toes? Let's take one more inhale. Big exhale, fold in a little deeper, release the hands. I like to push into all fours. So bend the knees, press the palms down, push into the feet, and then just lift the gaze, lift the spine as you lengthen. Knees can be bent. Forward fold, release. Let's take it all the way up, push it down, reach the arms up overhead. And then exhale, pausing, mountain pose. Releasing the arms out to the side. Maybe you spread the fingers wide. Maybe you keep them together. Draw a slow breath in. And a really slow breath out. Connecting with the earth beneath you. Connecting with the sky above you. Inhale the arms up. Bend the knees, bow over the legs. Lengthen to a flat back on the in-breath. Maybe lift the butt bones. Forward fold. Press into the palms, step it back, high plank. And then on the inhale, maybe shift forward or stay. Exhale, we're gonna lower all the way down, nice and slow. Whether you're dropping the knees or not, take your time. Elbows stay, hug them into the ribs. Lift into a baby cobra. Maybe even come onto your fingertips. Maybe airplane the arms behind you. Maybe just hover the palms. Tuck the toes under, push the palms down. Roll up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Float the right leg high. As you do this, maybe come high onto your left toes. Anchor that right leg up a little higher. And then cross it over to the left. And you're going to make an X with your feet, with your legs. Drop the right toes next to the left pinky and then soften the knees as the heels lower. So you're making an X. Right leg is crossed onto the left hamstring. We're going to flow this one breath, one movement. So inhale, high plank with your X. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog, push up and back. Exhale, cross the leg on top of the left hamstring, tap the toes, down dog with an X. Inhale, plank with an X. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Push it back up on the in-breath. X and down dog. Let's do it again. Inhale to plank. Exhale, right elbow. Three-legged dog, push up. Make your X, downward facing dog. Pause here, breathe in. Big breath out. And then from here, we're going to come into side plank. So you can keep the X, shift forward, wave the right arm high, and then make your adjustments with your legs. So maybe you're stacking the feet, maybe you're separating the feet, or maybe you're dropping the left knee for a modified version. Reach the right arm up overhead and reach it overhead. So if you're in a full side plank, take a breath in wherever you are. We'll all actually tuck the right arm under the left ribs and square into a high plank. Slowly dropping the knees, thread the needle. We're already halfway there. You can extend the left arm forward. You can interlace your fingers and press the knuckles toward the left wall. You can take the left arm toward the right hip bone. What do you need? Take a full breath in. Be right here. Breathe out. Slide the left hand back toward the face. Inhale the right arm, and we're just going to pop right back into that side plank. Good. Make any adjustments. Full breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. The out breath brings you down. The inhale brings you up. So what a great way to practice breath synced to movement. Allowing the body to trust the breath. It'll move you when it's ready. Trust. So let's do the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. And then maybe even come back onto those right toes. Lift the hips up, press the chest back. And then cross the left leg over, tapping the toes, softening the knees, and then lowering the heels. I like to lift my hips up a little higher, press my chest back toward the thighs. Notice what you're feeling in the arms, the shoulders, the wrists, what sensations are occurring. On your next inhale, pull the self forward, high plank with your X. And then exhale, left elbow with the knee. Inhale, press it up. Make that X in downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale to 3. Exhale, down dog with your X. Lots of X's. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, left elbow. Good. Inhale, draw it up. And we'll meet, cross the toe, the leg, drop the toes next to the right pinky. Let's make our way into that side plank. So as you shift forward, maybe send your weight into the right. Begin to lift the left hand, and then make your adjustments. What side plank are you aiming for on this side? Certainly doesn't have to be the same as the right side. Maybe you're working on starfish, tree pose. Maybe you're modifying by dropping that left knee or that right knee under the right hip. So press down, firm up the muscles, lift out of the shoulder, lift the hips. And then exhale. Start to tuck the left arm under the right rib. Square up in the process to high plank. And then control the knees down, thread the needle. So you're already there. And just melt the body into the mat. And just relying on the surface to ground you, to restore you, to release you. Slide the palm back toward the face. We're going to come right into that side plank, you guys. So however you can get there. Inhale, shift, make those adjustments. Big breath in, press down, root down to lift up. Take one more inhale. This exhale brings you down through chaturanga. And when you're ready to inhale, then bring it up. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. I like to grip the mat with my fingertips, kind of like I'm scrunching my hands, picking up a big pile of sand. I like to feel all points of contact to the earth. Maybe you like to do the same. Take a breath in. And breath out. Let's drop the knees. We're going to find puppy pose. We're going to stretch out the triceps and just allow our hands to rest. So notice what you're feeling here as always, as always. Let's start to find puppy pose. Stack the hips on top of the knees. Walk the hands out until you can come to the forearms. And then if your hips have shifted way beyond the knees, go ahead and just press back, hips over knees, and lower the forehead. You can press your palms down. You can come to the knife edges where your pinkies are. Lift the palms up. You can bring the palms to touch and then allow the fingers to tap the back of the neck, stretching out the triceps even more. And just pressing the heart down, pushing the shoulders down, pressing the armpits down. So feeling that stretch within the arm. Slow the breath here. Slow the breath. We'll take 3 more rounds. And then slowly walk the hands back toward the knees, lifting up, still sitting on top of our toes. If you'd like to, you can untuck them, point the toes away from you. And we'll just bring some movement into our hands. So clasp the hands right at the heart, and then press the palms toward the front. So you're looking at the backs of your knuckles. And then inhale, reach up. And then pull everything over to the right. Big breath out. Inhale, reach up. And then pull everything over to the left. Inhale. Exhale, sweep. And lower the hands down the same way we came in. You could shake it out, scrunch the fingers, whatever you need to do. And we'll find downward facing dog. So if you're still on your toes, maybe you lower to child's pose, right? So maybe we come to child's pose with the toes tucked. We firm up the muscles in the arms. We reach the palms forward, lifting elbows and forearms off the mat. And instead of coming into tabletop to down dog, we're just gonna lift the butt up, straighten the legs, and press right into downward facing dog. Go ahead and give that a try. And press the right leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. Sometimes I like to bring my left fingertips to the middle of my mat as I bend the left elbow and distort the pose even more, taking my gaze toward my right armpit. And then I can return back to the normal stance. Flip the dog if you're ready. You might not be ready, and that's okay. Walk the feet a little bit closer than wider. So not super wide. And then push down, squeeze the buttocks together, press into your left palm. Elevate the heart and the chest. Reach the fingers behind you, maybe drop the head. And then slowly spin back over. We're gonna step right foot to the top of the mat. You can get creative. You can work on the rotation of your hips. And we're gonna settle into a low lunge. And you can drop the hips as much as you'd like. I think it all depends on your preference and what you need. So we are going to come into an easy twist. Right arm waves up. Stacking the arms, pulling the right ribs underneath the left. Inhale through the nose. Maybe exhale through the mouth. Last one. Exhale, lower the right hand down. We're going to walk the fingers, all 10 fingers, to the outside of the right leg. Now I like to use a block here. You might not need one. So with the block, you're just going to walk the fingers to the block, and my arm is kind of aligned with the shin, or I should say with the calf. So maybe your hands are down, maybe they're not. Maybe you walk really far, maybe you don't. But you won't know until you try. So explore a little bit here. So we're just intensifying that twist in through the nose and out through the nose. We're going to walk our hands back over to our toes and then all the way over to the other side of our mat, coming into a low standasana. So maybe you get the left heel all the way down. I never do, and that's okay. And we're just going to hang here. Breath in. Breath out. And then we're going to take a seat. And I'm actually going to face the camera in case you guys need to see. So if you need to make your adjustments. So I'm still on my left leg. My left leg is bent. My right leg is out. We're going to take a little bind here. So with your right hand, grab your left shin. Like you're wrapping around and hugging it on really tight. Maybe you wrap it the forearm, maybe you wrap it the actual hand. And then take the right arm up overhead and see if you can reach toward your right toes. Still pulling the leg toward you. So we're like gripping onto that left leg. We're reaching. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Take one more inhale, keep reaching. Maybe your gaze is toward your left bicep and slowly come up, up, up. Big breath out. And we're just going to take the hands to the mat. You're going to crawl any way that you can. High plank, step it back. If you'd like to, go through a low flow or go ahead and hit downward facing dog. Once you find your dog pose, take a full breath in through the nose And a full breath out through the nose. And we're gonna float that other leg up high. So bringing the left leg up. And from here, if you'd like, you can walk your right fingertips about halfway. Bend the knee, open the hip, and distort the pose. Press the ground away, really take the gaze up toward the left armpit. Hug the left heel tight to the right butt cheek. And then return, flip your dog if it's there. Bend the knees, press down, squeeze. Lift up, reach to the front of the room. Big breath in. Big breath out, slowly. Take a big step to the top of the mat with that left foot. Settle into the hips. And when you're ready, easy twist. So pull out of the hips so the hips are aligned. You don't want to be real low, putting some strain on that back knee. So pressing down, lifting up, twisting to the wall. Take a breath in. Push down, breath out. And lower the hand down. Now we're going to crawl all 10 fingers to the left side. See if you can anchor your arms over that knee, over that thigh, and then bring your fingertips to the mat or even to a block. So we're finding a twist. And we want to be mindful here. If this is unsafe, if this does not feel good, you don't have to be here. Maybe you're just here in front of the toes. You want to feel safe. You want to be able to breathe. So fill it up. Let it go. And then release the twist, returning to center. And then crawl to the back of the mat, coming into Skandasana on the right side. So we're just stretching out the inside of our left leg. We're stretching the groin. You can make adjustments. You can do whatever you need here. This is your practice. Honor it. And then we're going to slowly take that seat, roll back onto your butt. Let's take that bind like we did on the other side. So this time with the left hand or arm, grab the shin. Keep it tight to you. You want to hold it so it doesn't move out of place. And then inhale the right arm up. And then see if you can reach toward your left toes. You might not grab them. That's okay. Maybe you're looking up toward the bicep. And just stay rooted down through the sit bones, through the sole of the right foot. Take a big breath in. Breath out. Try not to restrict the airflow. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly use the core as you come back up. We're going to lower our hands. And any way that you can get there, we're going to crawl to high plank. Step it back. And then chaturanga. Know that you can absolutely skip anything that you're not ready for or anything that just is no longer resonating with you. And then drop the knees. We're going to travel off our mat just slightly. So you will make arrangements if you need to. But we're going to stay on our mat and we're going to come into tabletop. We're going to flex the right leg all the way out. So right ankle is across the right hip. We're staying square at the chest. And we're just going to stretch. So this is a very similar sensation like it was in Skandasana. You can stay on your hands. You can walk your hands out. Or you can lower to the forearms. Forehead may meet the mat. It may not. Not a big deal. But like try to soften your knee. You don't want to hyperextend. Just kind of let it go, but really ground into the outer edge of that right foot. And then slowly walk the hands back under the shoulders. Now look at your right foot. We're going to bend the knee just enough to crawl. We're going to crawl to the right foot. Place the right hand in front of the toes. Take off for half moon. If a block is accessible, take your hand to the block. Maybe come to the fingertips. Maybe lift the belly up, hover, and take the hand toward the chest. You can do anything that you would like here. If you fall out, come right back in. Maybe you hook the foot with your hand and find sugar cane. So don't worry about being off your mat. And just be mindful of your surroundings. Extend the leg from sugar cane, reach the arm overhead, and then slowly crunch the knee to the elbow. Bend the right knee as we gently gear ourselves into Buddha squat. So if the knees are just not feeling good tonight, you can come into temple pose. So I typically come here often. I opt out of goddess squat a lot. But tonight I'm gonna go there. Pausing. Pressing into the feet. If you're on the toes and the heels are lifted, widen your stance. So shift side to side. Widen the stance. Take a really big breath in. Lower the hands to the mat. Lift the legs. Keep the width of your feet and fold. Take the left hand down to the middle. Bend the left knee, straighten the right leg, and then wave the right arm high for a little twist. The back is flat, just like we would be doing in a halfway lift. And exhale, lower the hand, bend the right knee, straighten the left leg. Inhale, twist. Gaze can be down to the side or up, forward, fold. Inhale, lengthen, flat back, and then fold right down. We're gonna step into a tabletop position. So just coming into this on the other side. Stake the left leg all the way out. Ankle is across from the hip bone. We're pressing down into the palms. Maybe this is enough for you. Maybe you need a little more. So perhaps you walk the hands up. You drop to the forearms and you're gonna really stamp the left foot down, almost like you're rolling the inner arch off of the floor. Take a breath in. Breath out. Return to the palms, elevate the chest. Curl the right toes under. Look at the left foot and just crawl. Make your way into half moon. The left foot does not move. So you move toward that foot and you're opening up. You're peeling the right hip away from the floor and find your balance. So if you're on carpet, notice the difference. It's going to be a little more challenging than on a hard surface. If you're coming into sugar cane, bend, grab the foot. I like to push the foot toward that back wall, the left wall, and then return to half moon. Reach the leg out, reach the arm overhead. Slowly crunch knee to elbow. Bend the left knee and find that wide Buddha squat dropping down. Elbows dig into the knees just to assist the opening of the hips. Make sure you're sitting low or you're sitting halfway if you're in temple pose. Take a breath in. From here, forward fold, or come into crow pose. Pop onto the toes, press into the palms. Maybe you lift one foot first, then the other. Maybe you lift all 10 toes. Maybe you don't lift any. Slowly lower. You can shoot into a high plank or to low plank if that's in your practice. So we're going to go right into our downward facing dog. And we'll find our closing series. Float the right leg high. And then come into fallen star. So bring the knee to the left elbow. Extend the right leg out and drop down. So you're kind of creating, I'll face the same way, I'll face the camera, kind of creating like a number 7 or the letter L. So my left leg is behind me with a soft bend. My right leg is out toward the left wall. And I'm walking my hands in front of my thigh, in front of my hip. So take a big breath in, lift up. Big breath out. So we're adding just this little twist in the body. Stretching out the IT band. And then I'm going to soften my left knee. I'm just going to bend it a little bit. I'm going to soften my right knee like I'm making an S. And then I might just lower down all the way, or perhaps I add a little chaturanga arms, melt my head down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, I'm gonna extend that left leg back again, and I'm gonna start to pivot onto my toes, but it's back here. And then I'm gonna return back to knee to belly. Inhale, three-legged dog. Bring the shin behind the wrists for half pigeon pose. You're gonna extend your left leg way behind you, getting an added stretch if it feels good. If you have a block, a pillow, a blanket, go ahead and stick it underneath the right butt cheek. Pressing into the palms, stay right here. We want to make sure that we're not sitting onto our right hip. We want space between the pelvis and the floor. If you're content, you can stay, or if you want more, you can fall forward, maybe even threading the needle. Left arm under the belly reaches to the right. Coming down to the cooler part of our practice. Sometimes this is the part where all of our thoughts just kind of flood all right back in, and that's okay. We try not to resist that. We try to sit with it. What are these thoughts? Are they stories I'm making up in my head? Are they true? Are they realistic? Am I being mindful to what I'm creating in my body? Start to tap into the breath. Start to tap into the breath. Inhale slowly, slowly, slowly. And a really big breath out. So this can resonate outside of the mat, absolutely. So thoughts that you may be creating in your head, in your mind, these stories, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. We don't know the shifts and the other changes that are coming. All we know is what we have inside of us and how to remain true, how to remain present, how to be right here. Take it one step at a time. Start to slide the hands back under the shoulders. We're gonna lift back up into a three-legged dog, making any big or small movements that the body needs. And then lower the foot when you're ready. Take the left leg high. Bring the knee to the left elbow. And then stake the foot out. Push it out so you make that 7 and sit down. So you're making an L or a 7, a big wide stretch, except we're not in the middle. We're twisting. So hands go to the top of the mat. Bend that left knee just a little, or that right knee just a little bit to soften. And then push down, lift the heart, take the gaze forward. And you can bend the knees as much as you need to. So maybe you have a complete 90-degree angle in that left leg, that's okay. But see what it feels like to maintain that letter L or number 7. Maybe you lower down, maybe you stay. Maybe you bend both knees. And then we're going to start to firm up the pose. So just like we came in, we're coming out. Kind of roll onto the ball of the back foot. Press down, hug the knee to the nose. Inhale the leg high, and then draw the shin behind the wrist. Coming into half pigeon on the other side. And I always say, try to come into a sensation that you have never felt yet before in this pose. So when we revisit the same poses, and we're cultivating the same experience with the same feeling and sensations, we're not really growing from that place. So be intentional, don't be habitual. Try to remain intentional, trying something new. Breath in. You can stay or you can go. Breath out. Ask yourself, does this pose cause me pain? If it does, how can I safely exit and return to something else, something better? Am I a little more relieved in this side with my head, with my emotions, with my thoughts? Is my breath deeper or is it shallow? Recognizing self-awareness, self-awareness. See if you can slow the breath down. See if you can fill up just a little bit longer each time. Trying to reduce any feelings of anxiety, intimidation, insecurity, resentment, or guilt. Just be right here, smooth it over. Walk the hands back on the inhale, lift, tuck the right toes, and then start to safely lift into three-legged dog, making any movements that the body needs. And then we're going to slowly drop the knees, send the legs out in front of us. Coming into our final stretches before Shavasana, we're going to come into half cow face. So bend the right knee, and then you're going to step the foot all over the left thigh. And then see if you can just pull and nestle the right knee on top of the left knee, which will stay long this leg. So we can stay here on the inhale or fold on the exhale. Maybe the weight of just your chest and your face falls to the leg, creating a deeper stretch. Soften the left toes, soften the left knee. Enjoy the fact that your body can create such shapes, such poses, allowing you to let go of so much tension that we don't even realize we're hoarding. Start to pay attention to the body. Listen to the body. It'll tell you so much about what's happening up in the mind. Slowly press into the fingertips, lifting head, neck, shoulders. Release. And gently scoot the leg out. Press it alongside the left, whatever you need to do. And let's make our way into the other side. Bend the left leg, cross. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you go here. Maybe you go a little further. If this doesn't feel good to the knee, you do not have to be here. Inhale. Stay or fold on the exhale, melting the chest toward the leg, although it does not have to touch. Soften the toes, the ankle, maybe give yourself a massage. Finding gratitude for the moment, gratitude for the light, the dark, being able to overcome every challenge that you have thus far. Exploring those boundaries, testing your limits, being mindful along the way. Slowly press up. And gently release. Let's take both legs wide. Push into the palms behind the back and really stretch. Really press through the heels, flex the toes. Take a big breath in. Exhale, stay or go. So many of you may have multiple variations. You can grab the toes. You can slide the arms under the legs, maybe bringing the forehead to the mat. So multiple things that you can attempt. Maybe you just rest on the elbows or the forearms. Maybe you don't fold at all. Soften the kneecaps. Soften the jaw. Notice when you're tightening, when you take a big breath in and out. Notice the way that your body may tense up around certain people. Pay attention to the body. What is it trying to tell you? Even when we're not practicing physical asana. Slowly walk the hands back. Gently slide the legs together. Shake it out. You're more than welcome to find rest on your back. You're more than welcome to join me in a seated meditation. Wherever you go, as always, allow yourself to find the most fulfillment in that shape for Shavasana. That shape should be able to provide you mental clarity, comfort, ease, sense of serenity and calmness, relief. Come into it. Bring the breath back to its natural state. Soften the whole being, including the tongue, the jaw, the eyelids, the fingers, the mind. To soften the mind. Soften the mind. Notice the sounds around you, especially if you're in a new environment practicing. It's okay to feel uncertain when something is new. Try not to resist what's happening. Try not to resist change. Allow yourself to surrender to what is. Allow yourself to be content and to move forward with this change, with opportunity and possibility. You're more than welcome to stay right where you are. Finding gratitude. Thank you all so much for allowing me to help guide you this evening. Please let us know if you have any comments, questions, concerns. Maybe you just want to chat. Whatever it is, we're here for you. As always, light and love to each and every one of you. Thank you.